Alright, what's up? What's up? Do you know how to record, Didier?
Yeah, it's recording already, bro.
Oh, sorry, recording? Alright, for
Yeah.
sure. Are we waiting on somebody? Are we waiting on the dude, huh? What's his name? Welmer? I just
Yeah.
he said
I need a password.
I didn't think I put a password. I don't know.
I was just supposed to log you in like that.
yeah, I didn't even need a password, it just put me in.
I think I invited him. Tom, I invited him. I don't know if it works.
Let me pull up the actual questions. In top hat. Wait, so for the you know how it says like it gives like the homework as you read? Did we have to do that or not?
What do you mean?
Which one?
Questions?
Like on the top hat, yeah, like the questions like
I didn't do it.
question 1.01, yeah. Alright. 'Cause I was just like, what the fuck am I looking at?
I'm gonna do the 15. I'm like on question 10.
Yeah, the 15 questions. Yeah. I went to like 11 and then stopped.
I'm gonna play 10.
When's it due? It said Monday, right? Like at 1:30 or some shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Dude, I just got like 1 hour sleep. Not even joking. Cause I got back from I think I got back from work like at 5 and then what the fuck? Fast good as soon as I got back from work for 5 and I just didn't sleep and so I slept for like an hour and then I woke up because I thought we were gonna have it at we'll call 11 and then I couldn't go back to sleep so I literally have not slept all day. I'm fucking struggling right now.
Damn, what are you working?
Huh?
What are you working?
Amazon.
Really?
Yeah, the one in Tracy.
I actually applied there.
Swear to God, you didn't. When?
Like, like 4 or 3 weeks ago, and I never heard back from them.
Swear to God, that's weird. Cause like I remember I got in like instantly because they was doing like immediate hire and I was like, alright, it's good that I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hop in.
All right, I'm in now.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, man?
Did he say we have to like let him know that this person couldn't make it?
What was
What?
that?
Oh, we missing. Oh shit, we're missing that one dude. What's his name? Eric, huh?
He never replied to anything, bro.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. Yeah, he didn't
I
say anything
mean,
in the chat or anything.
He never replied.
And like, he said it's individual, right? Not trying to be an asshole, but like,
nah. I mean, it's his grade though, but like
yeah, that's fucked up.
we're talking as a group, but obviously we all get an individual grade.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he hasn't responded to anything, right?
Yeah, I don't even think he opens the DM like every like when I check the DM, I doesn't say that he opened it. Like I don't even think he
He didn't
opened
open
it.
anything, bro.
But yeah, I'm not trying to be an ass or anything, but his grade.
Yeah.
Someone text him personally and let's see if he answers.
Yeah, I was about to right now. I'm about to hit him
But like,
up.
give him like 10 minutes or so.
It's the Eric Cow. Yeah, Eric Cow.
You guys type it up on Word?
Huh?
Did you guys type up the answers on Word?
Yeah, I did. Did you guys write the questions or not? Because I didn't. I just put the answers down.
Put the number. I should put the number next to it. The number 1, 2.
Yeah. Like your number. Yeah.
Which ones didn't you guys do?
From 5 and up. I'm only on question 5 right now.
Yeah, I only went to 10. So only like 10 through 15.
Yeah. I only went up to Well, like halfway through 11. Fuck, where's the thing at?
Wait, did he say that we're gonna be turning in everything that we type, or is it just gonna be the discussion he's grading?
I think it's just grading on based on like the discussion we have and shit.
Just the
Oh, okay.
video. No, as long as like you're just like here, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we all gotta discuss it like professionally.
Oh yeah, like each individual question.
Yeah. I mean, I
Uh,
got that. I think I could talk about every question, almost
yeah.
maybe up to 13.
Let's
Yeah.
start with number one or what?
What was that?
Fuck.
You guys want to start with number one?
I can't really hear you. What you say?
I think
You
he
guys want to
says.
start with number one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're gonna start with number 1. We'll just go through 1 through 15.
Alright.
If
Yeah.
anyone has done 15, or like whoever has the max done is cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to go by an order, like how we see each other on right in the top, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, we'll just go in order. There's no need to jump around.
Yeah.
We can just go in order,
Yeah. It sounds
and
good.
then we all give like our own response, and we may have the same answer, but
Yeah, like different views
Yeah.
and perspective on the same answer, kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying to. Hey, low key, psychology is kind of hard. I thought it was gonna be easy.
I know it's on top of the words.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, cause like I was reading up all on it, and I was just looking at like all the words. I was like, yo, cause I took psych my like before like we went into quarantine or whatever, and so some of the stuff I knew, but
Mhm.
and then I just kept reading. I was like, yo, like what am I looking like? What the hell am I watching?
Right.
Talking about I don't know non-aggressive gentle temperaments. I'm like, what? What am I?
I know what that is.
Can y'all hear any wind? Cause I got my fan on me right now,
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
you know, so I don't want to like to be blowing in my mic.
Who wants to start with number 1?
Who's was it me? Fuck. Let me see.
Wait, who's the host? You're the host, right?
Yeah.
So look, the way we could construct this Zoom call is that Didier, you're the host, right?
Yep.
All right. So what you can do is like ask the questions and then we respond. Like it doesn't matter who goes first, and then in the end, Didier, you could like give us your response in the end.
Yeah.
True.
I'm gonna share my screen.
Yeah. Anyone can share the screen, just the questions though, and then we respond with our answers.
Yeah, just share your screen then if you want.
All right. Oh wait. Well, I'm using my phone, and I don't have my screen on the connected to the phone.
Okay.
I'll share
Yeah.
mine. It says disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh yeah, did the participant disable it?
How do you share your screen? I don't know how to do it.
It just stay at the bottom. It should be
Yeah,
like
it's
a
share
little
content.
arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. You see my screen then? Yeah.
Yeah. I see it.
So number 1 is give a sentence of empiricism. As an example, I'm going to conduct a study that deprives college students of sleep to prove their grades will go down as a result. What kinds of things do I have to do as I conduct my study to make my study imperial study? Yeah.
All right. So who wants to start it off?
I got it. So pretty much what I put, I was just empiricism is the conclusion that we obtain knowledge by observing directly or by doing hands-on. And then I said to create like a successful experiment, in order for it to be hands-on, you'd have to get like a census of like college students who get good rest and then compare their grades to those who don't get enough rest. And you kind of like you'd get the group that doesn't have a lot of rest. Like they all take the same test, like the group that doesn't have rest and then the group that gets good rest, and they all take like the same test, whatever. And then you can show that's how you can show how the lack of sleep directly correlates to how much it affects a student's work.
I also agree to what Didier said, except I focus on probably one individual instead of focusing on a big group. But I also said that empiricism is the knowledge that one acquires from the past experience or observations. And I said, as an example, we could conduct an experiment on an adolescent person and keep track of the amount of hours they slept. Then results would prove that it interferes with the mood swings or like behavior. And I also said keeping track of the amount of hours and then testing them afterwards can prove their what's it called their performance on the test compared to someone who has enough sleep. And yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, what I wrote down for that one is empiricism is a theory that knowledge comes from past life experience. In order to do this, you compare students' rest and those who don't, and how they affect students' sleep. Then the results of those who did. And to be honest, I just got the last one right now because I didn't get that one.
Yeah. Well, what I wrote was that empiricism is the view that knowledge arises from what we observe and experience. If you're going to conduct a study that needs to be fundamentally empirical, you need to follow certain guidelines. Like just make sure you observe the people's behaviors to one person. So with the example, just study how the sleep deprivement changes their behavior, and then thus it changes their academics. That's just what I wrote.
Was that everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So with number two, it's in 5 sentences or less. Explain the idea that psychology is a science that combines psychology and philosophy.
Was this the one with the typo or is that another one? I'm
Mm,
tripping. Cause I know people were talking like one of them was like a typo or some shit in it. Or whatever. Let me see. I pretty much put that it combines itself with philosophy because both of them have to do with like their state of mind and how we like perceive everything around us. And this is due to the early history of like the subject dealing with the Greek philosophers. And and they're both like intertwined, and it was believed that it was a philosophy of the mind. And not only would it combine like how a person feels, but it also would combine like their values like of life or whatever. And then what else I put?
I also agree with you, and I also said that it is known and said that the study of philosophy consists of thinking, and the study of um, phys- physiology of is of what was that?
it's philosophy, I think, huh?
The philosophy and physiology, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So philosophy consists of thinking, and the study of physio- physiology of the is considered the brain and understanding the brain. Nonetheless, it's like this. Oh God, physiology is the study of both, and can psychology is the study of both, and can answer questions about one's mind by observing behaviors. I'm sorry, I studied so much.
So what I put was that psychology is a science that combines philosophy because philosophy is the study of the nature of knowledge and existence. Psychology is a scientific study of behavior and the mind. When we compare both, we find out psychology has much to do with philosophy and its existence. So one key belief that ties both is a philosophical belief called dualism. Dualism is the belief that mind and body are two separate things and they need to be observed separately. This is how psychology works, and philosophy studies this deeper. Yeah, that's just,
Wait, I think it's number two.
What was that?
Were you reading number 3?
I was reading number 2. No, that was
Yeah,
my
we're
answer.
number 2.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my answer.
For number 2, I have in the 4th century in BC, philosophy was the topic that talks about nature of thought, sensation, and imagination. Philosophical questions about the mind were developed into the idea of anatomy and physiology, which was generally considered to be connected to medicine or biology rather than directly to the mind, which proves that psychology is it's connect. Sorry, the science combines. That psychology combines science. Basically that they're connected to each other.
All right,
You
cool.
want to do number 3 or what?
Yeah, continue number 3.
Oh, yeah. So it's for number 3 is consider the example where accelerated heartbeat, breathing pertain to body, and emotional angers pertains to mind. Now, using this example, describe Rene Descartes' philosophy of dualism. State the 2 most basic principles of dualism in terms of the example. Next, according to Descartes, tell me what one aspect of mind tells apart human from animal. Use the example to explain how dualism will distinguish a reflexive animal reaction from a human reaction.
Let's see what I put the 2 most basic principles of dualism are ones that the mind and the body are not conjoined, but they're in fact different entities altogether. If compared to religion, is that your physical body and your soul are not linked, which explains the concept of the afterlife in religious practice. And a reflexive animal reaction would be a certain action an animal does without prior experience what they reacted to. A human reaction can differ based on what they experienced beforehand. For example, a cat will always, like if they're startled, they'll like jump hella high and like put their tail up. And it's just a reflexive trait that was passed down, um, like evolutionary or whatever for survival. And then, however, like when a human gets startled, there can be like different reactions, and people are different, which is like compared to animal reactions.
I said that Descartes claimed that one's body and mind are separate entities, meaning that dualism is determined by mind and physical reactions, like proven an example. Accelerated breathing is for body, and the anger is for mind. However, animals and humans have different reflexes due to us humans having consciousness, while animals have to rely on their behavior or like prior like how can I say prior past like danger moments. I guess you could say. And dualism can also be demonstrated by emotions or thoughts.
And what I have is the 2 most basic principles of dualism is the mind and the body. The aspect of the mind of a human has reflexes because we are conscious, we are aware of what we think and what we do, which are which was evidence for the mind of the humans. Unlike animals, they don't have reflexes, which is considered a behavior of unconsciousness reflex.
So what I put was that the 2 most basic principles of dualism are that the mind and body are separate entities. People can also be intuitive dualists, which means that they believe to be able to exist apart from their physical bodies. According to Descartes, one aspect of human mind that sets us apart from animals is that they have unconscious reflexes, as humans don't. Humans have a conscience that they believe to be evidence of humans having a body, mind, and soul. He believed that animals lack this, differing us from them, simply because they lack a soul. Dualism would describe animal reflex actions as unintended and without being driven by something else. In number 4, it's give a one-sentence definition of nativism as it relates to psychology. Next, provide and describe one example of a nativist psychological process phenomenon. Lastly, explain why Darwin is considered a nativist and how his ideas are relevant to psychology. Make sure you use and show that you understand terms like traits, innate, adaptive, and natural selection, in your answer.
All right, I got nativism is the belief that we have certain reactions to situations that come naturally to us as humans. And one example of that would be when we're under distress or like we're in some kind of like pain or sad or whatever, we start crying like when we're like babies. Because you don't when you're a baby, you're not really taught to cry, you kind of just cry, and that's kind of a like an evolutionary thing to let people know that you're in danger or you're like under some sort of like distress. And animals that are a product of natural selection have over the course of years become adapted to the harsh conditions of the environment they're in. This not only goes adapting physically to the environment, but also mentally on how they react to certain situations and knowing how to think. And yeah, that's what I got.
I responded. I think I had this one a little confused, but I said nativism may be proven that some knowledge is innate. For example, in the text, I was using um, the picture in the text. Question 1.26. It portrays an image with some sticks/lines, which makes us believe that one stick or line is longer than the others. But I don't know if this is a good example, but if you were to show this image to a kid who didn't have vision but was given back to him, it is reasonable if they believe the same thing most people do and see which line or stick is bigger. Um,
Good.
and then I said Darwin was considered an nativism due to believing that some human traits were passed down through generations so they can adapt to unfamiliar environments, which is called natural selection.
Yeah.
Did you two answer the question? Like, do you guys have that one done?
Yeah.
I do, but I don't really have like much.
I mean, it's better to share what you have, you know, like,
We could
Yeah,
help
that's
you
true.
with like memory, no?
yeah, yeah.
Alright, so like only what I have down was nativism is the action that we do without controlling it or without being aware of our action.
Mhm.
So nativism is pretty much just like the nature versus nurture thing. When they were like all talking about, oh, some things go naturally and then some things like you're shaped to by your environment or whatever. So
All right. Um, question 5.
Yeah. It's give a one sentence definition of epigenetics as it relates to psychology. Next, consider the example below and identify the forces of nature and nurture that are involved in this interaction. An example is that people who are born with a more non-aggressive temperament are more likely to form stronger social bonds. Strong social bonds foster cooperation and protectiveness among group members. So people with non-aggressive temperaments will more likely survive and produce more non-aggressive offspring.
that one, like, I wouldn't say it was like confusing, but it's kind of like took me a minute to think about.
Yeah, because the
But
example was like weird.
yeah, I know, like I had to reread the example like 3, 4 times. I was like, I don't know, it was weird. Like I didn't understand like what it meant. But I don't know, I don't know if this is right because to be honest, I didn't really get this one. But I just put that epigenetics is understanding on how we have natural DNA in our body, but how it can shape itself due to the environment. And when a person is born gentle and not aggressive, this is where the nature part comes in because that comes in naturally.
Hmm.
And the nurtures when they kind of like make bonds with people because just because you're gentle, non aggressive doesn't mean that you want to socialize with people. Like some people are like just non aggressive and like just naturally gentle, but they're kind of like they're antisocial, like they don't really like talking to people, they're kind of just like shy or whatever. And so that's kind of like the nurture part because it all depends on how you grew up. Like if you grew up in a place where like everyone's hella cool with like everything each other and stuff, then like yeah, it's gonna create more bonds with people, and then that'll make like your children will have those bonds or whatever. But then if you grow up in a place where no one really talks to each other, it's kind of like rough, then they're not really gonna have that many bonds with people. And you could also say for the opposite, like if someone was kind of like more like rude, naturally rude, like yeah, it'd kind of be a struggle to make friends, but it's still possible, you know? Like it's still possible to do.
Yeah.
And it all just depends on how you grew up in the environment.
Yeah. I agree with Didier because I also said that epigenetics is demonstrated as nature against nurture, meaning how the environment influences genetics. Nurturement would be like the genes passed down by parents, which would be known as the offspring of temperament. Temperament. So like Didier said, like if you're a chill guy and you're cool, then your child will most likely be like that, unless your significant other is like the opposite. It could be a mix of genes in there, and yeah, that's all I said.
Right, what I have done is epigenetics is the study of changes in the expression of genes that do not result from the alternations in the genetic code. For example, the sex-related genes and hormones influence gender differences. Behavior may be influenced by brain development. Like it passes on from you know from genes and like it passes on.
So like for my example of what nature is, I put that nature is like the people that are born with the passive non-aggressive temperament. Because if a person is born with a calm and non-aggressive temperament, they most likely inherit from their parents or from external experiences. And then the nurture part is the example when people like go into the world and they experience like negative temperaments and they like know how to deal with it. So nurture is about how individual changes or adapts to experiences they go through, and if they're changed or stay relatively the same, so that their offspring can also inherit those same traits.
Which one are you on now? 6 or 7?
I think
Wrong.
so.
Oh shit. Okay.
Because right now it says I'm recording for 22 minutes. So I mean, we could keep going like in order, or just like talk about the ones we need. Like, you know how we need like more.
Yeah.
Like the ones we
Yeah.
don't really understand. We can just talk about those.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true. I don't think. Yeah.
But, like, does
Is
anyone
there
like anyone? Like anyone need like a specific
I
one?
didn't finish up 11.
Alright,
okay,
so
we could talk about 11. I haven't done that one yet, but we could talk
alright,
about it.
yeah, I just read a question that says, give a one sentence definition of cognitive psychology, and then tell me about the technological advances that help bring the cognitive revolution. And finally, tell me why I can't argue that cognitive psychologists truly carry on the legacy of want and introspection. Make sure to use and show understanding of terms like information processing in your answer. Yeah, I don't
Uh,
know. I'm gonna start.
um, from what I understood, what cognitive science is a study of mental processing, such as attention, language, and as well memory.
Mhm.
But I mean, that's all I know. But I still don't, I still don't have a grasp of the question yet.
Yeah, because
I
Yeah,
might be
like
too
I don't
little.
know what they mean by technological advances. Like I don't know
I
what that
know what they
means.
mean. It says,
Yeah.
Like
well, one of them
better
is
data
one of
for
them.
computers and shit.
Yeah, one of them is a computer, and then a CT scan, and
Oh
then
yeah,
PET neuroimaging. That's what I know.
Yeah.
Those are like the things that like moved it forward, made
yeah.
them more popular.
Yeah. I put something like that down, but like I didn't really
Yeah.
finish it up.
Um, Alondra, do you want to discuss about this question? Give your thoughts on it, probably, because is she even
To
here?
be honest, I didn't do 11 because I couldn't get it. Like I didn't understand.
I don't think none of us understand the question right now, but it's better to just give your own thought about it and try attempt the question, what you understand from it, maybe.
Yeah, because I found that right here was like,
I think I seen it down the bottom.
yeah,
Let me read these real quick.
so yeah, here look, it says, um, right here says there are other technologies that allowed scientists to peek under the hood of the brain were CT scans in the early 1970s and PETs, and then together these new technologies allow psychologists to evaluate their abilities to make inference about people's internal mental states. This is like it made the cognitive illusion. Number 11.
Go back and see.
And then what else? I know it's what else did it say? It said like what else was the question talking about after you give the example?
Tell me why I can argue that cognitive psychologists truly carry on the legacy of this guy.
When introspection. Make
Whatever.
sure you use the terms. Well, wasn't introspection like when they collect data from like a bunch of people and like ask them how like they feel or how they think about a certain thing or
Yeah, it was more subjective. It was like
yeah, it was like a
what they
subjective
thought
thing.
about it. It could change. Like like a cat would be like it was cute, and then some people might say yeah, some people might say no.
We're on question 12. I'm sorry.
No,
11.
it's still 11.
Oh, it's 11. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we're still yeah.
Yeah. I really don't. I can't really process this question. I don't know why, but I just know what cognitive science is. But yeah, I know there's further explanation to that. I just don't know how to put it together.
Yeah.
I mean, what I think is that cognitive psychologists carry Sigmund's legacy of introspection because the new advances in technology with information processing allowed psychology to go back to its scientific roots and then get a better insight. And that's what I think for the second part.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree if I knew like
Yeah.
how to connect it and all that, but this is a difficult question.
Yeah, this one's hard.
Yeah, this one's difficult.
Is there any like specific ones that you guys had trouble with? Like
Maybe 13. 13. Did you guys get 13?
Oh yeah, it's like a big chart watch. It's like right here. It just explains like all the different types of jobs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Never mind. No, I did get that one.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Feminist psychology,
Yeah.
torture into. Okay. No, never mind. I got that. Yeah. Any other question y'all probably struggled with?
trying to see.
14. Did you guys do 14?
No,
I didn't get that far.
This is about translation or research, and then it gives you like an example, no? It gives you like a study right here.
Sure.
Shows you.
Wait, hold up. Briefly describe the idea of translation. Next concerns teach without so they understand by identifying the basic applied translational portions of the study. First, basic. Let me see.
I mean, I found what translation and research is right here. It says the kind of research will apply to its roots in basic research is referred as translation. I don't know.
It's kind of confusing at first. I know it's weird, like the way the book kind of like words things sometimes, like.
I find it weird, like, because they give you like a sentence and then they just tell you what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's confusing.
And they just move on to something else. Like, they don't even know.
Yeah, it is confusing.
They would attempt to discover the best ways
Oh, the recent basic research is cognitive psychology suggests that people remember information better over the long term if they have experience successfully remembering the information, such as on a quiz or part on studying.
Yeah, you just write that down. It's just to like um identify the basic, applied, and then the portions of the study. So like down here, you just like identify which one's which, like which one's basic, which one's applied, and you just write it down.
All right, so we write the where it says study, write everything down, and then we identify the basic.
Yeah, I think we should like tell him like what it is, like what part of this is like applied, basic, and then application.
Did you guys get to 15?
I
No.
don't even think I read the question, to be honest. Oh yeah,
Tell me the difference of like
Clinical psychologist.
yeah, psychiatrist.
Which is
psychiatry.
the answer. One.
You find out like in the word.
I
Aren't
have it.
the
Like right here, the psychiatrist, and then the clinical psychologist right here. It tells you the area of focus, and then required training, and then the example of the activities. I was just like read about this.
I got one. I'll share it since I have it. I put what I wrote down for 15 is the difference between a clinical psychiatrist and a psychologist is that in training, psychiatrists are medical doctors, which at least require 11 years of training. First, they do a medical degree at university. Next, they do 1 or 2 years of training as a general doctor. On the other hand, psychologists have at least 6 years of university training. They may also pursue a master's or doctorate level qualification in psychology if they have a PhD and they have a special training in the diagnosis and treatment of mental illness. Psychiatrists tend to work at hospitals and psychologists also tend to work on their own office. That's what I wrote down for that.
yeah, yeah, I didn't even get to that one yet. That one
Yeah,
didn't
me
take long
either.
right there.
I didn't get to that one.
No, me either. Like right here.
That was smart though. That's smart though to like do the ones that you kind of like already know a little bit. I kind of just went through 1 to 11 and it took longer. Like I honestly probably should have done what you did and did the ones that I understood better.
I mean,
Yeah,
most of the questions are like they're out of order. Like they don't really
Yeah.
like they go like up and like they jump up and down.
the
Just
whole
like
learning is just 11, 12, 13, and 14.
yeah.
Do y'all know what else are we supposed to talk about before we submit the recording to him?
I think
I
it's just
think
like just the worksheet, you know, just like the problems.
Yeah, and then he said to discuss the most difficult question for us. We already did that.
I number what?
I think it was what's it called? I think it was 13, right? Or 11. 11 was the most difficult
I
one.
think 11 because yeah, I
oh
don't know.
yeah 11.
11 was the most difficult one.
I don't get the second part, like how to like they carry the
Wait,
legacy.
didn't Alondra know? Alondra, did you know what 11 was?
No, I didn't get that one.
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry.
It's 11 through 14 that I didn't get. Like I didn't really understand it.
Yeah, so those are like the hardest ones. Like,
Yeah, but did you guys? We didn't go over 8, 9, and 10.
Because we went on to explain the difficult ones. Sort of.
I mean, 8 is just the functionalism.
Mm-hmm.
Name 2 psychologists who were functionalists.
Yeah.
Functionalism, yeah.
I wrote that functionalism is the understanding of function, behavior, or mental processes. 2 psychologists who were functionalists were Williams James and James Roland Angel. Their core philosophy was focusing on immediate conscious experience. And then for the third part, it says, what other influential thinker in theory was inspiration behind functionalism? I wrote that Charles Darwin, and his theory of evolution.
Yeah, I got that too.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
and they used it because it further shaped their ideas and supported their findings.
Sh- Alright, yeah, I pretty much got the same thing. Let me see what I put.
Yeah, that was easy. That was easy.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if we all got the same answers.
yeah. And then for number 9, behaviorism, I put that it's the theory that that behavior in humans and animals can be conditioned, that they can like kind of be taught to like do certain tasks or whatever. And
Yeah,
then I said that behaviorists couldn't really use introspection in the research because introspection is solely based on other participants and how like subjectiveness, and also because you can't really, and since introspection is based on like you have to ask people how they feel or what they think, and you can't really ask animals how they feel or how they think, and so this made a lot of people skeptic of the methods that introspection used. And I
What
think I
I,
put
I had something else. I had a little bit different than that. What I had here is behaviorists the rise of a new movement in psychology. Behaviorists can now use introspection in their research, which is the primary method of studying conscious experience. At the time, as fear rose, the study of animal psychology gained prominence as well. Introspection isn't possible with animals because they started working with them physically instead of like mentally.
mhm,
yeah. What I wrote is that behaviorists believed that there was no dividing line between human and animal behaviors, so they would just treat them both like the same. So they would like give like the same age to like an animal, and then like they would try to give it to like a human, and then compare both of them, see like how each of the behaviors changed or like did it.
And then for 10,
To describe the philosophy of psychoanalysis, and then explain how mental illness was treated, and make sure to use terms like conscious, unconscious, insight, and free association.
what I have for that is for training as a neurologist led him to the conscience that his patients were suffering from maladies, or I don't know how to actually say that, that were psychological in nature. Freud believed that these illnesses originated from the unconsciousness mind, a portion of the mind that is closed off from conscious analysis. Over the next several decades, Freud described a system for understanding the conscious mind, starting treating the illness that stem from it.
Yeah, I believe from what I read, I remember that Sigmund Freud is like he believed that the mental illness originated from like the unconscious part of the brain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what else?
I mean, he thought he treated the only
Yeah,
way, the only way to treat this mental illness was to the process of analyzing the contents of the mind so that the relevant thoughts and feelings could be brought up. And then he would use techniques to tap into the mind that just would keep everything from being filtered.
So we really basically went over all of them.
oh, we went over every question, right?
yeah, I
Yeah.
think pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we came to agreement that question 11 was the most difficult for us. Uh, yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
hard to understand. And yeah, we talked about we gave most of our thoughts on every question or our response. Yeah. I mean, for the record, should we state our name so like he knows that who's on the live?
Yeah.
Or
You start.
all right. Welmer Manzano.
Mm-hmm.
Maximus Beasley.
I'm Alondra Hernandez.
And I'm Didier Lara. I'm the host. And this is our
And
discussion
we're
of,
group 30.
yeah, we're group 30.
Oh yeah,
Group
I think
30.
38.
Yeah, with the exception of we're missing Eric, but
He never replied.
yeah, he
Yeah,
never replied to us.
mm, yeah. I checked. I was checking my DM. He never opened it or anything. So
We'll
Yeah.
stop
So
recording, right?
yeah, we could stop recording now.